In a quaint village nestled among rolling hills and verdant fields, two cows named Bhola, the foolish cow, and Budhiman, the clever cow, lived together on a modest farm. Bhola, the foolish cow, was known for his naive nature and simple-mindedness. On the other hand, Budhiman, the clever cow, was admired for her intelligence and sharp wit. Despite their differences, the two cows shared a strong bond and enjoyed each other's company. Every day, the cows roamed the fields, grazing on fresh grass and basking in the warmth of the sun. Bhola loved to daydream, often getting lost in his thoughts, while Budhiman always kept an eye out for danger and made sure they stayed safe. The farmer who owned them, Ram Prasad, trusted Budhiman to lead Bhola and keep him out of trouble. One sunny morning, as Bhola and Budhiman were grazing near the edge of the forest, they heard a rustling sound in the bushes. Bhola, curious and oblivious to danger, wanted to investigate. Budhiman, sensing potential trouble, tried to stop him. Bhola, wait, we should be careful. There might be a predator hiding in those bushes, Budhiman warned. But Bhola, ignoring the advice, trotted towards the sound. Budhiman reluctantly followed, determined to protect her friend. As they approached the bushes, a sly fox named Chalu emerged, grinning mischievously. Well, what do we have here? Chalu said, eyeing the cows hungrily. Two delicious cows wandering near my territory. How fortunate for me. Bhola, not recognizing the threat, greeted the fox cheerfully. Hello, Mr. Fox. What a lovely day, isn't it? Budhiman, however, was wary. She knew foxes were cunning and dangerous. She stepped forward, positioning herself between Bhola and Chalu. What do you want, fox? She asked sternly. Chalu feigned innocence. Oh, nothing much, just passing by. But since we've met, why don't we be friends? Budhiman didn't trust him, but decided to play along for the time being. We'll consider your offer, but for now, we must go. As Budhiman led Bhola away, she couldn't shake off the feeling that Chalu was up to something. She resolved to be even more vigilant in the days to come. Chalu, the fox, was indeed plotting something sinister. He knew that Bhola, the foolish cow's foolishness, could be exploited to his advantage. Over the next few days, he observed the cows from a distance, waiting for the right moment to strike. Meanwhile, Budhiman continued to keep a close watch on Bhola, sensing that Chalu hadn't given up. One afternoon, while grazing near a pond, Bhola noticed Chalu approaching them again. This time, the fox had a friendly demeanor and carried a basket of juicy apples. Greetings, dear friends, Chalu called out. I brought you some delicious apples as a token of our friendship. Bhola's eyes lit up at the sight of the apples. Thank you, Mr. Fox. That's very kind of you. Budhiman, however, was skeptical. Why are you being so generous, Chalu? What do you want in return? Chalu smiled cunningly. Oh, nothing at all, Budhiman. I just want to be friends. After all, isn't it better to have friends than enemies? Budhiman didn't trust Chalu's intentions but decided not to refuse the apples, as they were indeed tempting. She accepted the basket cautiously and shared the apples with Bhola. While Bhola enjoyed the treat, Budhiman kept a watchful eye on Chalu, who soon left with a satisfied grin. Later that evening, Budhiman warned Bhola again. Bhola, we must be careful. Chalu is up to something. We can't let our guard down. Bhola, still naive, replied. Oh, Budhiman, you worry too much. Maybe Chalu really wants to be our friend. Budhiman sighed but didn't argue further. She knew she had to protect Bhola, even if he didn't understand the danger they were in. Days passed and Chalu continued his attempts to befriend Bhola and Budhiman. He brought more treats, told funny stories, and even helped Bhola out of minor troubles. Bhola, enchanted by Chalu's generosity, began to trust him more. Budhiman, however, remained suspicious and kept a close eye on the fox. One day, Chalu decided it was time to put his plan into action. He approached Bhola and Budhiman with an inviting proposition. My dear friends, Chalu began. I know a secret meadow deep in the forest, filled with the freshest, most delicious grass you've ever tasted. I'd love to take you there as a gesture of our growing friendship. Bhola's eyes widened with excitement. Fresh grass? That sounds wonderful. Let's go, Budhiman. Budhiman was immediately cautious. We don't know this forest well, Bhola. It could be dangerous. How can we trust Chalu to lead us safely? Chalu put on his most convincing smile. Oh, Budhiman, you wound me. I've done nothing but help you both. Trust me this once, and I promise you won't regret it. Bhola pleaded with Budhiman, eager for the adventure. Please, Budhiman, just this once? Reluctantly, Budhiman agreed, but she remained on high alert. The three of them ventured into the forest, following Chalu's lead. As they walked deeper into the woods, the trees grew denser, and the path became harder to follow. Budhiman's instincts screamed danger, but Bhola was too excited to notice. Finally, they reached a clearing with tall, lush grass. Bhola immediately began grazing, delighted by the sweet taste. Budhiman, however, noticed something strange. The clearing was surrounded by thick bushes, making it difficult to see beyond. Her unease grew. Suddenly, Chalu's true intentions were revealed. He let out a sharp whistle, and from the bushes, several other foxes emerged, surrounding Bhola and Budhiman. Chalu grinned wickedly. Welcome to your new home, cows. This is where you'll meet your end. Bhola, realizing the danger too late, panicked. Budhiman, however, stayed calm. We need to get out of here, Bhola. Follow me closely. Budhiman's quick thinking and sharp instincts took over. She scanned the clearing, looking for any possible escape routes. The foxes closed in, their eyes gleaming with anticipation. Bhola, trembling with fear, stayed close to Budhiman. Stay calm, Bhola. We'll find a way out, Budhiman whispered. Seeing a gap in the bushes, Budhiman made a sudden dash towards it, hoping to break through before the foxes could react. Bhola followed her lead, and together they pushed through the thick foliage. The foxes, taken by surprise, scrambled to catch up. As they ran through the dense forest, Budhiman led Bhola along a zigzag path, trying to confuse their pursuers. The foxes, though cunning, struggled to keep up with the cows' unexpected maneuvers. Budhiman's determination and quick reflexes kept them just ahead of danger. Eventually, they reached a small stream. Budhiman had an idea. Bhola, we need to cross the stream. The water will help cover our scent. Bhola, though exhausted and scared, trusted Budhiman. They waded through the stream, the cool water refreshing their tired legs. On the other side, Budhiman found a thick cluster of trees and led Bhola into the cover. We'll rest here for a moment, Budhiman said, keeping an ear out for any signs of the foxes. They waited, holding their breath, as the sounds of the foxes grew faint. After what felt like an eternity, the forest returned to its peaceful state. Budhiman knew they couldn't stay hidden for long, but the immediate danger had passed. We need to head back to the farm, Bhola. Stick close to me, Budhiman urged. Bhola nodded, his fear replaced by a newfound respect for Budhiman's intelligence and bravery. Together, they made their way back to the farm, avoiding any more encounters with predators. By the time they reached the safety of their home, night had fallen. Ramprasad, the farmer, was relieved to see them. Where have you two been? I was worried sick. Budhiman recounted their adventure, including Chalu's betrayal. Ramprasad listened intently, his concern turning to anger. That fox won't get away with this, he vowed. Ramprasad, determined to protect his beloved cows, devised a plan to teach Chalu and his gang a lesson. He knew he couldn't take on the foxes alone, so he sought help from the other villagers. Together, they came up with a strategy to outsmart the cunning predators. The next morning, Ramprasad gathered Bhola and Budhiman. We're going to set a trap for those foxes. I need your help to make it work. Budhiman nodded, eager to help protect the farm. Bhola, still shaken from their encounter, was hesitant but trusted Ramprasad and Budhiman. Ramprasad explained the plan. We'll lure Chalu and his gang into the old barn. Once they're inside, we'll lock them in. The barn is sturdy enough to hold them until we can figure out what to do next. Budhiman agreed. It's a good plan. We just need to make sure we are careful and not underestimate them. Ramprasad set the trap that evening. He left a trail of food leading to the barn, knowing the foxes would be tempted. Bhola and Budhiman stayed nearby, ready to act when the time was right. As night fell, Chalu and his gang appeared, following the trail of food. Chalu, still confident from his previous encounter, led the way. Look, more food. Those foolish cows must have left it for us. The foxes, oblivious to the trap, entered the barn one by one. Ramprasad and the villagers, hidden nearby, waited for the right moment. Once all the foxes were inside, Ramprasad signaled the villagers. They sprang into action, closing the barn doors and securing them with heavy beams. Chalu and his gang, realizing too late that they were trapped, tried to escape, but the barn was too sturdy. Ramprasad approached the barn, addressing the foxes inside. You've terrorized my farm for the last time. Now you'll face the consequences of your actions. The villagers cheered, relieved that the threat had been neutralized. Bhola and Budhiman felt a sense of accomplishment, knowing they had played a part in protecting their home. With the foxes securely trapped, Ramprasad and the villagers debated what to do next. Some suggested handing them over to the authorities, while others believed they should be driven far away from the village. Budhiman, always thoughtful, proposed a different solution. We should give them a chance to change. Maybe if we show them kindness, they'll realize the error of their ways. Ramprasad was hesitant but saw the wisdom in Budhiman's suggestion. Very well, we'll give them a chance, but we'll keep a close watch on them. The villagers agreed and Ramprasad approached the barn. Chalu, we're giving you and your gang a chance to change. We'll release you, but if you ever threaten us or our animals again, there will be severe consequences. Chalu, humbled and grateful, agreed. We promise to change our ways. Thank you for giving us another chance. Ramprasad and the villagers opened the barn, allowing the foxes to leave. Chalu and his gang, though wary, departed with a newfound respect for the villagers and their kindness. Over the following weeks, Chalu and his gang kept their word. They stayed away from the village and began to change their ways. The villagers, seeing their efforts, gradually accepted them back into the community. Bhola, still naive but wiser from his experience, learned to trust Budhiman's judgment even more. The bond between the two cows grew stronger, and they continued to protect each other. With the threat of the foxes behind them, life on the farm returned to normal. Ramprasad, grateful for Budhiman's intelligence and bravery, decided to reward both cows. Budhiman and Bhola, you've both shown great courage and wisdom. From now on, you'll have a special place on this farm, Ramprasad announced. He built a new, more secure enclosure for the cows, complete with a cozy shelter and plenty of fresh grass. Bhola and Budhiman were delighted, and their bond with Ramprasad grew even stronger. Budhiman, always the protector, continued to watch over Bhola, who had become more cautious but remained his cheerful self. They spent their days exploring the farm, making new friends with the other animals, and enjoying the peace they had helped secure. The foxes, now reformed, occasionally visited the farm, but only as friends. Chalu, in particular, sought to make amends for his past actions. He often brought gifts of food and helped Ramprasad with chores around the farm. Ramprasad, seeing the positive changes in the foxes, decided to give them a chance to prove themselves further. He allowed them to stay on the outskirts of the village, where they could live peacefully and contribute to the community. The village, once wary of the foxes, gradually accepted them as part of their community. The experience had taught everyone valuable lessons about trust, forgiveness, and the power of second chances. Years passed, and Bhola and Budhiman continued to live happily on the farm. Their story became a legend in the village, a testament to the power of intelligence, bravery, and the importance of trusting and supporting one another. The villagers often told the tale of the foolish and clever cow to their children, teaching them the values of wisdom, courage, and kindness. Bhola and Budhiman, now older, were respected and loved by all. Ramprasad, grateful for the lessons he had learned from his cows, made sure to care for them with the utmost devotion. He often marveled at how a simple farm with 2 cows had brought so much wisdom and unity to the village. The foxes, now fully integrated into the community, continued to live peacefully. Chalu, once a cunning predator, had become a trusted ally and friend to the villagers. His transformation was a powerful reminder that even the most cunning can change if given the chance. As Bhola and Budhiman grazed in the lush fields, surrounded by friends and family, they knew their legacy would endure. Their story of friendship, bravery, and forgiveness would continue to inspire generations to come. And so, the tale of the foolish and clever cow became a cherished part of the village's history, a timeless reminder that with wisdom, courage, and a little help from friends, any challenge can be overcome. If you like the story, then subscribe, share, and press the bell icon of the channel for more interesting stories.